गालिब नूं जे उसदे इश्क ने शायर बनाया सी तां इस 12-13 साल दे मुंडे नूं उस दियां उन्हां मुसीबतां ने शायर बनाया जिन्हां नाल होश संभालण तो लै के ही उस दा वाह पैंदा चला आ रहा सी। जद मेरे कुछ दोस्त मैनू भी खिच घसीट के ते लोहरी दे एक पिड़ विच लै गए। शायद उन्हां विचों कई ऐसे भी सन जेड़े ये जानना चाहते सन कि की सचमुच ये मुंडा जुबानी शायरी कर लैंदा है या खड़े पैरी शायरी कर लैंदा है। उत्थे जाके एक मित्र वालों फरमाइश पई, लै बई हंस सुना दे फिर कोई चौंदा चौंदा बैंत जोड़ के। उदों अजे मैं नानक सिंह नहीं सा बनिया, मेरा जमांदरू नां हंस राज सी ते हंस करके मैं पुकारिया जांदा सा। कविता विच भी मैं इसे नां नूं वरतदा सा ते उसे फरमाइशी नूं संबोधन करके उदों जिहड़ियां 4 तुक्कां मैं बोलियां ਉਹ ਅੱਜ भी मैनू याद ने जो इस प्रकार सन। काफ कित्थों लियावां मैं बैंत चौंदे जद के खून विच मेरी जबान चौंदा तेरे जहे खुशबख्त की सार जानन किवें अखियां थानी इंसान चौंदा जाके पुछ नसीब दे मारियां नूं हेठों ज़मी ते उत्तों आसमान चौंदा ना पुछ हाल तू हंस दुखियारड़े दा जिथे मैं सौंदा ओ मकान चौंदा।
Universally acknowledged as the father of the modern Punjabi novel, Sardar Nanak Singh was born on July 4, 1897, in a modest Hindu family living in village Chak Hamid, Tehsil Daddan Khan, district Jhelum, now in Pakistan. He was named Hansraj. In 1915, when he was barely 18, he converted to Sikhism. Putting aside some amateur religious and non-religious verse that had earned him some fame, he plunged into the communal politics of the time in Punjab, participating in a public meeting held in Jallianwala Bagh on April 13, 1919. He narrowly escaped when General Dyer's men rained bullets, resulting in a massacre. Nanak Singh responded by writing the long poem Khuni Vaisakhi, Bloody Baisakhi. The book was banned by the British. A copy was finally retrieved from London and republished in 1980.
ਬੌਜ ਦਾ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਨਾਵਲ ਮਤਰੇਈ ਮਾਂ ਸੀ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਵੀ ਓਨਾ ਪਾਪੂਲਰ ਹੈ, ਔਰ ਅਖੀਰਲਾ ਨਾਵਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਗਗਨਦਮਾਮਾ ਬਾਜਿਆ ਸੀ। ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੰਨੇ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਰੀਡਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਵਧੀ ਕਿ ਚਿੱਟਾ ਲਹੂ ਔਰ ਪਵਿੱਤਰ ਪਾਪੀ ਨਾਵਲ ਹਰ ਬੱਚੇ ਦੀ, ਹਰ ਵੱਡੇ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਬਾਨ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਸੀ। ਬੌਜ ਜੀ ਹਰ ਸਾਲ ਨਵਾਂ ਨਾਵਲ ਪਹਾੜ 'ਤੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ, ਬਹੁਤਾ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਉਹ ਸ੍ਰੀਨਗਰ ਵੀ 1-2 ਵਾਰੀ ਗਏ, ਧਰਮਸ਼ਾਲਾ ਵੀ ਗਏ, ਪਰ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਹਰ ਸਾਲ ਡਲਹੌਜ਼ੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਸੀ ਅਤੇ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਨਵਾਂ ਨਾਵਲ ਦਾ ਖਰੜਾ ਲਿਖ ਕੇ ਲਿਆਉਂਦੇ ਸੀ। ਐਕਚੁਅਲੀ ਉਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਸਾਲ ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਕਹਾਣੀ ਬਾਰੇ, ਉਸ ਨਾਵਲ ਬਾਰੇ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ, ਛੋਟੇ ਛੋਟੇ ਨੋਟਸ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਡਾਇਰੀ ਵਿੱਚ। ਫਿਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਡਲਹੌਜ਼ੀ 1 ਮਹੀਨਾ ਲਗਾਉਣਾ ਅਤੇ ਪੂਰੇ ਨਾਵਲ ਦਾ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਲਿਖਤ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਲਿਖ ਕੇ ਲਿਆਉਣੀ 300 ਸਵਾ 400 ਸਫੇ ਦੀ। ਉਹਨੂੰ ਆ ਕੇ ਫਿਰ ਨਾਲੋਂ ਨਾਲ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਰਹਿਣਾ, ਕਾਂਡਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਦਲੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹਿਣਾ। ਬਹੁਤ ਜੀ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਨਾਵਲਕਾਰ ਸੀ, ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਵੀ ਵੱਡੇ ਉਹ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਸੀ।
ਪਹਿਲੀ ਵਾਰ ਮੈਂ ਸਰਦਾਰ ਨਾਨਕ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਹੋਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਸਰ ਮਾਈ ਸੇਵਾ ਬਾਜ਼ਾਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੇਖਿਆ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਵਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਪ੍ਰੇਰਿਤ ਹੋਇਆ, ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਪ੍ਰੇਰਿਤ ਹੋਇਆ, ਔਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਤਾਕਤ ਮਿਲੀ ਹੈ। ਮੈਂ ਨਾਨਕ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਹੋਰਾਂ ਦਾ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਤਿਕਾਰ ਕਰਦਾ ਅਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਦਾ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਸਾਹਿਤ ਨੂੰ ਕਿੱਸਾ ਕਾਵਿ 'ਚੋਂ ਕੱਢ ਕੇ ਸਾਰਥਕ ਲੀਹਾਂ 'ਤੇ ਲਿਆ ਕੇ ਖੜ੍ਹਾ ਕੀਤਾ। ਭਾਵੇਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸੁਧਾਰਵਾਦੀ ਨਾਵਲ ਲਿਖੇ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਇੱਕ ਪਰੰਪਰਾ, ਪੁਰਾਣੀ ਪਰੰਪਰਾ ਨੂੰ ਤੋੜ ਕੇ ਨਵੀਂ ਪਰੰਪਰਾ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤਾ, ਔਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵਿਤ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਮਗਰੋਂ ਫਿਰ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਨਾਵਲ ਲਿਖੇ ਗਏ ਜਾਂ ਸਾਹਿਤ ਰਚਿਆ ਗਿਆ, ਉਹਦੀ ਰਚਨਾ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਲਈ ਔਰ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਲਈ ਇੱਕ ਅਮਰ ਗਾਥਾ ਬਣ ਗਈ। ਇਹ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਯੋਗਦਾਨ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਸਾਹਿਤ ਦਾ ਮੁੱਢ ਬੰਨ੍ਹਣ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ 'ਚ, ਦੀਆਂ ਭਰਨ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਸਿੰਘ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਯਾਦ ਰਹਿਣਗੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ। ਉੱਤੇ ਉਹ ਸਾਰੀ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਹੋਈ ਜਾਵੇ, ਔਰ ਮੇਰੇ ਲਈ ਉਹ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਮਝ ਲਓ ਜਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਧੱਕਾ ਲਾਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਸਮਝ ਲਓ ਜਾਂ ਸ਼ਾਬਾਸ਼ ਦੇਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਸਮਝ ਲਓ, ਉਹ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਲੇਖਕ ਸੀ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੇਰੀ ਲਿਖਤ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਾਬਾਸ਼ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਔਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਉੱਠਦਾ ਕੀਤਾ, ਅਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਹੌਸਲਾ ਫੜ ਕੇ ਸਾਹਿਤ ਦੇ ਮੈਦਾਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਖੜੋ ਗਿਆ ਜੀ। ਔਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸ਼ਾਬਾਸ਼ ਨਾਲ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਿਰ 'ਤੇ ਹੱਥ ਨਾਲ ਮੈਂ ਅੱਜ 93 ਸਾਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਉੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਖੜ੍ਹਾ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੋਰਿਆ ਸੀ।
Nanak Singh had become a full-time writer, publishing new works year after year for nearly 5 decades, leaving behind a formidable body of works. 59 books, including 38 novels, 4 collections of short stories, 5 plays, 4 collections of early verse, and an autobiography, Meri Dunya, My World, published in 1949. His last fictional work was Gagan Damama Bajiyan, or Drums of War, in 1967. Although a full-time writer who spent considerable time away from home, Nanak Singh did not shy away from family responsibilities.
Nanak Singh Ji was introduced to me by Gyani Kartar Singh Hitkari, Amrita Pritam's father, who was trying to wean me away from the nuns who were teaching me in Sacred Heart School, and he wanted to introduce me to Punjabi literature. And Nanak Singh was the first one he brought into my focus, because he knew that if I start reading Nanak Singh, I'll automatically graduate to reading Gurbani and understanding its meanings. Anyway, Nanak Singh was my first love in Punjabi literature. And I used to wonder at times, though I was just 8 years old, that Prem Chand was so much admired by all the Hindi speaking world, and Prem Chand was taken to the heights of Chekhov and Dostoevsky. But why didn't the Punjabi reading people love him so much to take him to the same heights by their criticism, their accolades, their reading his books? Everybody enjoyed his books, but nobody ever tried to give him his the place that he actually deserved, and that was a very high pedestal place. Then gradually we met in Delhi, not in Lahore, and Nanak Singh Ji came across like a saintly person. He was not he was not even conscious of what heights he had achieved. That was the most beautiful thing about him. the innocence which reflected on his face, which was like an aura over his whole personality.
An immortal poet and a great novelist. His love for the country really came to the forefront when he wrote great Khuni Baisakhi, which was an challenge to the colonial rule. Sardar Nanak Singh Ji wrote great epics like Pavitra Papi and Chitta Lahu, which became a household name. And Sardar Nanak Singh Ji was of a firm belief that if India have to progress, it has to give due weightage to its women folk to become like Kamini of his great work Kati Hui Patang and Pushpa of Pyar Di Duniya. Sardar Nanak Singh Ji really was father of Punjabi novel, and he wrote over 50 books. I really like his autobiography Meri Duniya and his various other works, which are very heart-touching.
Nanak Singh sought to reflect observed reality through narratives that were overtly romantic in tone, but nevertheless carried a message. Matrei Ma, or Stepmother, was his first published work, sold to a publisher in Amritsar for barely 10 rupees, and the second was Kal Chakra, or Wheel of Time, sold for 15 rupees. But Matrei Ma was actually not his first attempt at fiction, because he had written the first draft of Ad Khili Kali, or Half-Blossomed Bud, during a 10-month stint in the Lahore jail. The draft was confiscated by the British jail authorities. 18 years later, it was redrafted and published as Ad Khidya Phul, translated as A Life Incomplete, which became the turning point in his writing career. Even though Chitta Lahu, White Blood, published in 1932, had already established him as a writer to reckon with. These were followed by his more formidable works like Pavitra Papi, or Saintly Sinner, later renamed The Watchmaker, which was also made into a film. Nasur, Unhealed Wound, and Ik Myan Do Talwaran, Two Swords in a Sheath, which brought him the Sahitya Akademi Award in 1962.
Nanak Singh was a great Indian writer, writing in Punjabi language. He is a sort of a writer who made us proud of our literature and our heritage. We all know that he began his writing career with some devotional songs and very religious writings. But later on he developed into a social fighter. He wrote strongly against the British rule. His books were banned, and even he went to jail for a while. Nanak Singh is an ideal character for us, that he showed his strength of his character, strength of his mind, strength of his pain, and he showed us the way how to live and write, because he was not only a writer, his life was also an example for next generation writers. He got the Sahitya Akademi Award and received it from Radhakrishnan, and he made the prize more valuable because writers like him was presented with this award. Nanak Singh will always remember him as a pathfinder and one of the great novelists of India.
ਸਰਦਾਰ ਨਾਨਕ ਸਿੰਘ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਨਾਵਲ ਦਾ ਪਿਤਾਮਾ ਵੀ ਆਖਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ, ਮੋਢੀ ਨਾਵਲਕਾਰ ਸਨ। ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਨਾਵਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੜ੍ਹਿਆ ਉਹ ਨਾਨਕ ਸਿੰਘ ਹੋਰਾਂ ਦਾ ਸੀ, ਪਵਿੱਤਰ ਪਾਪੀ। ਉਸ ਨਾਵਲ ਨੇ ਇੰਨਾ ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵਿਤ ਕੀਤਾ, ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਦੋਂ 10ਵੀਂ ਜਮਾਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ, ਉਮਰ ਛੋਟੀ ਸੀ ਜਾਂ ਸੈਂਟੀਮੈਂਟਸ ਭਾਰੂ ਸੀ, ਕਿ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਮਗਰੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਨਾਵਲ ਹੱਥ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਪੜ੍ਹੇ ਬਿਨਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਛੱਡਿਆ। ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਾਰਨ ਇੱਕ ਇਹ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ 'ਚ ਕਹਾਣੀ ਰਸ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ, ਪਾਠਕ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਲੈ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ। ਉਹ ਖੁਸ਼ਕ ਰਿਐਲਿਟੀ ਜਾਂ ਨਿਰੋਲ ਭਾਵੁਕਤਾ ਰੋਮਾਂਟਿਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਹੁੰਦੇ, ਉਹ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਸੁਮੇਲ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਸੀ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਐਸਥੈਟਿਕਸ ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਅੱਜ ਤੱਕ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਨਾਵਲਕਾਰਾਂ ਨੇ ਮਾਡਲ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਤੁਰੇ ਨੇ। ਦੂਸਰੀ ਗੱਲ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵਿਤ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਲੋਕ ਲਿਖਦੇ ਹੋਰ ਨੇ ਅਤੇ ਜਿਉਂਦੇ ਹੋਰ ਨੇ, ਅਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਸਮਝਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਸਾਹਿਤ ਜਿਉਣਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਔਖਾ ਹੈ। ਪਰ ਨਾਨਕ ਸਿੰਘ ਹੋਰੀ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਾਊ ਜੀ ਆਖਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਟੱਬਰ ਦੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਜੀ, ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਫੋਟੋ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ, ਸਾਰੇ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਕੋਟ ਪੈਂਟਾਂ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਟਾਈਆਂ ਲਾ ਕੇ ਖੜ੍ਹ ਗਏ ਫੋਟੋ ਖਿਚਾਉਣ, ਅਤੇ ਉਹ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਖੱਦਰ ਦਾ ਸੂਟ ਪਾਇਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀ। ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ, ਬਾਊ ਜੀ ਇਹ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਇੰਨੇ ਸਜੇ ਵਜੇ ਖੜ੍ਹੇ ਨੇ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਖੱਦਰ ਦਾ ਸੂਟ ਪਾਇਆ ਹੋਇਆ? ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਭਾਈ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਨਾਨਕ ਸਿੰਘ ਨਾਵਲਿਸਟ ਦੇ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਨੇ, ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਛੋਟੇ ਜਿਹੇ ਹਟਵਾਣੀ ਦਾ ਮੁੰਡਾ, ਇਹ ਫਰਕ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਇੱਥੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਛੋਟੀ ਪੋਜੀਸ਼ਨ ਕਿਉਂ ਦੱਸਦਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਸੱਚ ਨੂੰ ਜਰਨ ਦਾ, ਸੱਚ ਨੂੰ ਆਖਣ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਵੀ ਸੀ। ਇਸੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਮਾਜ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਕੁਝ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਸੱਚੇ ਰੂਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕੀਤਾ।
When he was alone, I quietly, silently watched his modern process of individuality. He used to sometimes talk to his own self. One day I found that while writing novel Pavitra Papi, I just stepped in that room. Tears were continuously shedding from his eyes. Then one day I asked that, how come that while writing you weep also? He said, no, it's actually the character when I describe in writing, I get wholly, totally involved in that. And that keeps me taking along in the mighty flow of that character, that I at times feel that particular character I am describing in my novel, I am none else but a part of that particular character. And while writing this character, while telling me this all, again the tears were shedding from his eyes. So there's only a few people, I think, could be of that height of human character.
Having got a raw deal from the publishers of his first two novels in Amritsar, he decided to turn publisher of his own books in 1929 with Prem Sangeet, Music of Love. His earnings from the best-selling collection of religious songs, Satguru Mahima, Great Guru's Aura, helped him overcome the trauma of years of struggle. Fondly called Bauji, not only by his family, but by all others he came into contact with while strolling the streets, Nanak Singh was not averse to enjoying a Hindi film at the nearby Nishat Theatre. While not writing or plotting his next novel, he would spend a lot of time in the Guru Ramdas Library within the majestic Golden Temple complex. He would spend hours contemplating at a multi-religious temple in the heart of the city and go for long walks in the famous Company Bagh, once the exclusive domain of the British.
Well, I was a student in Moscow, in Russia, in the Film Institute, studying film direction actually, when my father came there for with a delegation. And he told me that he had become good friends with a gentleman, a writer called Nanak Singh Ji, and that he was very impressed by some of his writings. And the book that impressed him most cinematically was this book called Pavitra Papi. It's very, very difficult to make a novel into a film. Anything, you know, any classical writing becomes very difficult to translate into cinema, because cinema has its own laws. You know, it lasts for just 2 hours, maybe 1.5 hours. So it was tough going, and there was a lot of discussion about the ending, because the book was very tragic. The fellow dies, the hero dies. And I had been signed on as a director. I sat for many months, I think it was 3 or 4 months, polishing the script in Dad's attic in Juhu. In the meantime, Mr. Asit Sen approached me in Bombay to do a film as an actor. The film was called Anokhi Raat. I was not keen on this. Now, unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know, this film, it was tough going because I was not good with the language. I didn't know what I was saying. I spoke Russian most of the time. But the film was a, thundering success. It was a big hit. Suddenly, everybody wanted me as an actor. And the producer said, you should not act, you should not direct our film, Pavitra Papi. You should act in it. That was a bit of a shock. And that's what ultimately I had to do. I'm so happy to say, one of the most satisfying things about this film was that people liked the story, the script, which was slightly different from the book. But it was liked, and what makes me immensely happy is that to this day, my God, it's been about 35 years maybe, it is still remembered, the film.
After the early years of struggle and eventual success, he shifted residence in 1938 to Preetnagar, a small hamlet between Amritsar and Lahore, where he would oversee the editorial content of a literary journal, Preet Ladi, which went on to assume iconic status. In 1941, Nanak Singh built a house here called Raj Bhavan, named after his wife. Although he later shifted back to Amritsar due to family compulsions, he would frequently go back to its quiet, serene and idyllic surroundings to rework and finalize new books. He would also retire to the cool climes of Srinagar, Simla or Dharamsala, and later exclusively to Dalhousie, where he would complete the first draft of a new novel. The fact that he had little formal education never cloaked his vision, as is evident from the sale of his books 4 decades later, many of which are part of postgraduate studies in universities where Punjabi is a part of the syllabus. Many of Nanak Singh's works have been translated into various Indian languages, including Hindi.
कि सरदार नानक सिंह नॉवलिस्ट डलहौजी दी सरजमीन ते आके इन्ने खूबसूरत नावल उन्होंने लिखे। नानक सिंह जी एक बहुत ही साफ सुथरे और एक ऐसे बुजुर्ग होए ने साडे, क्योंकि मेरे पिता दे बड़े क्लोज सीगे। उन्होंने मेरे फादर दी इत्थे हलवाई दी दुकान सी, उस दुकान ते बैठ के पवित्र पापी नसूर वर्गे नावल की सिरजना की। और मैनू एक इंसीडेंट याद आता है, इत्थे एक मैंटली रिटार्डेड एक्स सर्विसमैन सी दास, बाऊ जी उन्होंने आंदे जांदे अक्सर देखा करते सन, और कई बार उन्होंने कहा कि मोहन तू इस दास नू अपनी दुकान ते बैठा, मैं इन्हू देखना चाहना है। लेकिन क्योंकि वो मैंटली रिटार्डेड आदमी सी, एक जगह ते नहीं बैठता सी कभी भी। तो मेरे पिता जी ने कहा कि नहीं, ये मैनू लगता नहीं कि साडी गल मन्नेगा या टिक के बैठ सकता है। लेकिन नानक सिंह जी ने कहा कि नहीं मोहन तू ट्राई तो कर, एक बार 5 मिनट मैं इन्हू सिर्फ देखना चाहना। और मेरे पिता ने उस दास नू कहा कि दास चाय पिएगा? तो वो आके मेरे फादर की दुकान ते बैठ गया, और सामने बाऊ जी उन्होंने एक लगातार एक नज़र नाल देखते रहे। और उस तो बाद उन्होंने कहा कि मोहन, जिन्नी देर च दास ने वो चाह का कप खत्म किया, उस ओने वक्फे दे विच बाऊ जी ने कहा कि मेरा एक नावल तैयार हो गया है, मैं इस शख्स के उत्ते नासूर लिखांगा। सो दिस वाज द टैलेंट।
Well, my grandfather was a phenomenal natural storyteller, and year after year he would churn out one bestseller after another, and had a huge following in Punjabi literature. But there's this feeling that perhaps he didn't get the recognition that he deserved at a national and an international level, that had he been somebody writing in Hindi or in a major international language like English, perhaps he would have had much more of a readership and a much bigger recognition for his talent. He was a man who didn't write murder mysteries, and yet produced page turners that kept readers hooked from the moment that you started reading one of his novels. So I think my mother was a strong inspiration for me in trying to urge me to say that why don't you take up one of his books for translation? And so I agreed, and I said, all right, let me take a shot first at Pavitra Papi, which is one of his very famous books. And that was translated and published by Penguin as The Watchmaker. Was well received, and I think I got some encouragement from the response that so many people gave, that for the first time those who did not read Gurmukhi but only read in English had an opportunity to access some of his work. And that led to a second book which was Adkhadya Phul, a very famous novel of his, and I translated that with HarperCollins, and that is published as A Life Incomplete. And I am very pleased that I am now working on what is arguably one of his most famous books, Ik Mian Do Talwaran. This is a book on which he won the Sahitya Akademi Award in 1962. And it's a very different book from the other two that I have translated. The first two are, you would put them broadly in the romantic tragedy kind of genre. Very powerful love stories, but with very tragic endings in both books. And these wonderful stories of unrequited love and of idealism. This one, Ik Mian Do Talwaran, is part history. So at one level it's a historical account of the creation of the Gadar Party and of Kartar Singh Saraba as its principal character, the hero who later was also an inspiration for Shahid Bhagat Singh and for other nationalist leaders. At another level, it's also a story of romance. In fact, the book Ik Mian Do Talwaran, Two Swords in a Sheath, draws its title from the circumstances of a fictional family that has been created to blend into the historical story of the book.
Nanak Singh died of a cardiac arrest on December 28, 1971 in Preetnagar, where a memorial to him still exists. In his centenary year, 1997, the Government of India issued a postal stamp in his honour, which was released by the then Prime Minister of India, acknowledging his contribution to Punjabi literature.